Hi everyone, I'm Zach Joseph with the Cabrillo College Transfer Center. The purpose of this video is to give you an overview of the University of California transfer application. Congratulations on all of your hard work up until this point on your transfer goals. As of August 1st, the UC application is available to begin filling out, but it can only be submitted from November 1st through the deadline of November 30th. You'll need to return to the site in January to fill out your Transfer Academic Update, or TAU, with fall grades and your spring class schedule. Most campuses provide their admission decisions in the month of April. If you choose to attend a UC campus, the Statement of Intent to Register will be due on June 1st, and that campus will need to receive your final college transcripts by July 1st. Before you begin filling out your UC application, it is good to note the minimum transfer requirements. By the end of spring semester prior to transfer, you'll need to have completed the following: at least 60 UC transferable units with a minimum GPA of 2.4, 2 English composition classes, 1 UC transferable math class, and at least 4 more courses from at least 2 other general education areas. Note, these are minimum admission requirements and don't necessarily guarantee admission to the campus or major of your choice. We recommend you meet with a counselor if you have any questions about specific major and campus requirements. Now let's take a look at the actual UC application website, apply.universityofcalifornia.edu. If this is the first time you'll be applying to the University of California, first you need to create an account. The good news is that you can apply to any of the 9 undergraduate UC campuses from this one application. Overall, the application is pretty user-friendly and includes built-in help features along the way. But next, we'll go over some of the parts that tend to require more explanation. On this screen, make sure to select that you are a transfer student. Also, in most cases, you'll be a junior level transfer, meaning that by the end of spring semester prior to transfer, you'll have completed at least 60 units. Note that some majors, mostly in science and engineering, require so many major prep classes that you may have more than 60 units when you transfer. Not to worry, it's important that you still click the button for Junior Level Transfer. Unless you have already earned quite a few upper division units at a 4-year university prior to attending Cabrillo, you'll still be a junior when you transfer. The next section of the application will ask for some personal information, including about your and your parents' income. It's important to answer this correctly because it's what's used to determine if you qualify for an application fee waiver as well as possible university-based scholarships. Make sure that you put a permanent address and an email address that you check regularly. If you want, you can skip this section for now and return to it later. For the questions relating to country of citizenship, it's important to accurately list your social security number if you have one. But students with undocumented citizenship status will not need to and can choose no selection under the country of citizenship. This is the page where you'll choose which UC campuses you'd like to apply to. The application costs $70 for each campus you apply to. If you've already filled out your financial information in the previous section and qualified for a fee waiver, it will reflect that on this screen and show that you could then apply for up to 4 campuses for free. If you did not qualify for an application fee waiver, then it will show the total cost depending on how many campuses you select. The next screen is where you choose which majors you'd like to apply to at each of the campuses you've selected. Majors are sorted by category or college within the university. Note that some campuses ask you to also choose an alternate major. If this is the case, we recommend that the alternate major is also something that you really want to study and that it be in a different area of study than your primary major. This is the section of the application where you'll list all of the college classes that you've ever taken at Cabrillo and any other colleges or universities if relevant. It's important you have copies of unofficial transcripts from Cabrillo and any other colleges when filling this out. If you filled out a Transfer Admission Planner or TAP account, that will save you some time because you can import the coursework information from there. If that is the case, make sure you've updated your TAP account a couple of days before you import it to the UC application. In case you've taken a college class anywhere besides Cabrillo, make sure to enter all colleges you've attended. For Cabrillo, make sure your enrollment term starts with the first semester you took any classes here, and if you plan to take classes in spring semester, that your dates of attendance goes through this coming May, and choose all terms you've been enrolled in classes. Enter semester for term type, but note that some other community colleges may follow the quarter term system. For each term enrolled, you'll be able to click on a department to see the courses offered. Select the courses you took and the grades received, including letter grades, pass, no pass, credit, no credit, withdrawals, incomplete, or academic renewal. Just make sure the grade is exactly what shows up on your transcript. The University of California requires that you list all classes taken even if they're not transferable. When entering any non-UC transferable courses, you'll need to click on the button that says, I don't see my courses, and then enter the department, course number, course title, and units in the boxes. This screen asks about UC Transfer Pathways, which is a UC system-wide guide to major preparation for certain majors. If you didn't follow one of these pathways, or if you're not sure, it's fine to leave this blank. Your California State Student ID number is often found on your high school transcript, but if you can't find it, it's okay to leave this blank too. The additional comments box can be used to explain any unusual circumstances about coursework or grades. This section is where you'll report Advanced Placement, AP, International Baccalaureate, IB, or TOEFL exams if you have them. Make sure to report any AP scores of 3 or above. If you don't have any scores, you can leave this section blank and move on. This is the section where the UC has you list extracurricular activities and awards received. You can list each activity or award separately, and we'll be able to explain a few details about each. Make sure to describe your specific role in the activities and avoid using acronyms. If you didn't have the time to participate in extracurricular activities due to needing to work, it's best to list your work experiences and describe them here. The primary focus of this section should be post-high school experiences. Because the UC application asks for your financial information, it can also be used to apply for many university-based scholarships. Select all the scholarships that pertain to you in this section. If you'd like to apply to the University of California's EOP program, make sure to check the box in this section for that as well. Personal insight questions, or PIQs, are much shorter than typical essays, but are still an important part of the UC application process. You'll need to provide answers for 4 of the 8 PIQs. 1 is pre-selected, and then you choose the other 3. Responses are short, between 250 to 350 words each. Writing your PIQs can take some time, so make sure to compose the responses in a separate Google Doc and copy and paste into the application later. We recommend you treat this like any other important writing assignment and have teachers, friends, counselors, or the English Learning Center read your responses and provide feedback. Cabrillo's Transfer Center also offers a PIQ webinar in the month of November, which is our recommended first step in getting follow-up support in your editing process. This is the last page you see before beginning the submitting process. This checklist will show any parts of the application that still need to be completed before submitting. And remember, you can only submit the UC application from November 1st through the deadline of November 30th. Thanks for watching this UC application video. Take your time as you work through this process and know that we're here to help you along the way. Remember that we'll have a webinar specifically about the personal insight questions in November. Also, we encourage you to register for virtual application assistance, where we'll use Zoom breakout rooms to provide one-on-one support with your individual application questions. Most importantly, remember to submit the UC application between November 1st and November 30th, and then return to your Transfer Academic Update, TAU, in the month of January to check communications and portals, often from each campus you've applied to. We're happy to help, so please reach out to us via transfercenter@cabrillo.edu or 831-479-6385. Zoom or phone counseling appointments and drop-in assistance is available. And make sure to visit the transfer event calendar on our Cabrillo Transfer Center website to register for virtual application help sessions. Sign up for workshops hosted by our university partners and schedule virtual meetings with university representatives. Thank you for watching, and best wishes as you work on this step of the transfer process.